Hello. We've been talking about the origins of transcendentalism. We talked about idealism and empiricism and rationalism. Finally, we get to talk about transcendentalism. As the name suggests, transcendentalism is the idea that there is a transcendent reality above human experience, our experience of the senses, things that can be seen and known empirically. You already know what that word means by now. This reality, the transcendentalists taught, is known through a faculty of the mind called intuition. So the mind has many faculties: intellect, reason, judgment, deliberation, imagination. Intuition is the faculty of being able to intuit or sense a kind of knowledge that is not directly apparent. So remember rationalism. Immanuel Kant said that there's nothing in the human mind except for the mind itself. So because of the character of the human mind, the way it's able to automatically categorize things in the same way for all human beings, it already has a character or the stamp of this higher reality, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the way that I plug my microphone into my laptop using a USB cable, because the microphone and my computer are both compatible with it. The USB is able to connect them. In the same way, the very way that we make sense of the world and understand things and know things, it is a way that enables us to be aware of the larger reality that is shadowed forth in the way that we make sense of things. I'm sorry, I don't feel like I described that very well. But what can you do? I guess you can Google it if you're confused. There's better teachers out there anyway. And this reality is accessed through the study of nature. So because they accepted many of Plato's aspects of his philosophy of idealism, this world, the world of nature, it is a shadow or a copy of this higher realm. So think of it like a poem. I get to understand the poet's mind by studying what is in the poem. The individual words in the poem, they work together to reveal something beyond them that originates in a mind, right? Nature is like a poem to the transcendentalists. In looking at not just scientific knowledge, but the way that animals behave with one another, these psychological reactions that we have, like to baby animals are cute, or the fact that in human societies there's this natural impulse to revere elderly people and to care for and take care of small infants. This is something that they would say it's natural, it's universal. And so the transcendentalists taught that by studying nature and being close to nature, this is how we're able to uncover the meaning of God's poem, to put it in a really overly simplistic fashion. The human individual, they taught, is a microcosm of the infinite God. So the human mind, like I said about the camera, or the way the rationalists taught that we all come to knowledge and view reality in the same way. It's like we've got a little camera that is simply a different lens that is part of God's infinite camera. And so the human mind is simply a small miniature repetition of the infinite mind. This all seems really heady and really confusing. That's okay. This is really confusing philosophy. The last point is that God is life. God is existence. That is his definition. That is what God essentially is he is the origin of all life, of all being. So all living things and all things in nature are tied together through God's Spirit that the transcendentalists call the over soul. The implications of this are immense. Because if every human being has this divine spark within them, and this is the thing that makes us kindred, this means that race doesn't matter, this means that sex doesn't matter, this means that we are all little microcosms of infinite God. And the implications of this are immense. The transcendentalists were some of the first people to be abolitionists. They were some of the first people to be in support of female suffrage, of looking for equality, not just among the races, but also among the sexes. And it led to a lot of humanitarian reforms within society, and importantly, for what we're trying to understand right now for American Romanticism, is that a lot of these ideas led to this, the breaking of a dam of pent-up creative energy that finally became unleashed in these decades in America, finally came into its own in the world of the arts. And transcendentalism is one of the things that was a creative outlet for all of these energies.